Have you been wondering if Warhammer Online is still worth playing in 2025? I spent countless hours playing it to bring you an honest assessment on whether the game is still worth your time and exactly how to get started. You might remember Warhammer Online as a game that was launched in 2008 by Mythic Entertainment and published by Electronic Arts. It was a highly anticipated title at the time. Still remember standing in line with my brother to go buy the original disc of the game that was effectively going to kill World of Warcraft. Yeah, I know, but bear with me here. Despite the game's moderate success, a lot of mistakes with both Mythic and EA led to Warhammer Online being shut down in 2013, only 5 years after its launch, which left a good amount of fans wanting more. However, unlike WildStar, Warhammer Online rose from the ashes with the return of Reckoning. Since 2014, a group of fans took on the mission of bringing their favorite MMORPG back to life with the Return of Reckoning project. A labor entirely of love, which is absolutely refreshing and, frankly, quite amazing, Return of Reckoning, or ROR, is not only a live, functioning server of Warhammer Online, it's also an actively in-development game. That's right, the developers for Return of Reckoning are actively creating and adding to the game that so many have come to know and love back in 2008. That means that new dungeons, raids, and PvP content are being added regularly. The developers even released a roadmap recently, which includes an entirely new raid made from scratch. That means that if you played Warhammer in the past but was craving new content, there's no better time to get back into it. But what is Warhammer Online? Warhammer Online is an MMORPG based on the Warhammer IP. Instead of the futuristic aesthetic of the 40k series, War, as it's popularly called, uses a special variant of standard Warhammer lore, called the Age of Reckoning, which is set in a parallel universe from the main Warhammer timeline. Originally designed to be a PvP-focused MMORPG, Warhammer Online offers a wide array of PvP modes to quench the thirst of all types of players. From battlegrounds to open-world PvP called RVR, Realm vs. Realm if you will, War is based on the conflict between the Order and the Destruction. The Order is composed of three main races, the Dwarves, the Humans, and the High Elves, while the Destruction features the Greenskins, the Chaos, and the Dark Elves. Each race has 4 unique classes, which are mirrored on the opposing faction, albeit not 100%. As an example, the White Lion, a melee bruiser of the High Elves, is mirrored by the Chaos' Marauder. While the Elf counterpart plays alongside a pet lion, the Marauder shapeshifts one of its arms to use similar abilities, but does not have a pet. That gives each faction a very unique and distinct flavor in both gameplay and visuals. Faction identity is a big part of War, and the game plays heavily into it, with massive open-world battles between the two factions happening almost 24/7. Just how active is Return of Reckoning? The game has been remarkably active despite not being backed by a big studio for over a decade. The developers of Return of Reckoning have done a good job in maintaining and developing the game, and its loyal fanbase seems to have rewarded them with steady gameplay. At any given time, it's common to see hundreds of players on both factions in both Tier 1, which includes levels 1 to 15, and Tier 2, which includes levels 16 and above. Queues for scenarios, which is how battlegrounds are called, usually pop within 5 minutes, sometimes less depending on which faction you're playing. The game also does a good job at pointing you towards where the action is happening and which zones the players are flocking to at any given time. So the question on everyone's mind is it worth playing it? In my opinion, absolutely. Not only the game is completely free to play, and I'll leave the download link down below in the description, it also offers as much immersion as any other MMORPG out there. The unique customizations, the different zones, classes, races, and lore make it interesting for any fantasy fan out there. If you're into PvP, then the game becomes an absolute must. There are countless hours of fun to be had in every game mode. From scenarios to open RVR to city raids, there's something for everyone. The game is also incredibly active for a private server and has shown enough of a track record to earn the long-term trust of players. If you feel like playing a Battlehammer Priest or Berserking Orc, now is the perfect time to download the game and get straight into the action. It's important to note though that because the game doesn't have the massive resources that games such as World of Warcraft, New World, or Guild War 2 possess, there are always going to be a few shortcomings like a couple of bugs, and a slower development pace. The combat and movement is also not as fluid as in other games like WoW. A consequence entirely of its rushed development, the game's engine seems a little suboptimal, with combat feeling a bit clunky at times. Despite those shortcomings, the team's constant effort to improve gameplay and solve bugs make it well worth your time in my opinion. Warhammer Online is one of those games that I keep going back to from time to time. Something about the game's universe is so inherently unique that I just haven't been able to find anywhere else. Maybe it'll be the case for you too, but if not, at least it's a free-to-play endeavor that won't hurt your wallet. If you liked the video and if you're willing, drop a like and subscribe to the channel to help me make more content like this. If you want more about Warhammer Online or any other MMORPG out there, you can also leave a comment down below. Until next time.